Good evening, gentlemen, and welcome to today's class. So today we're going to be looking at the completion phase in corrective maintenance. So we've done so much in corrective maintenance so far, so good. We treated notification, and we say it's the report that you raise to notify the team about a breakdown on site. We'll look at the planning phase where you prepare the materials, the resources, the human resources, the material, tools, etc. For the maintenance. The control phase where the work order is released and you print out necessary documents. Execution phase where you do planned or unplanned material withdrawal, and now completion phase. This is actually the last stage of preventive maintenance where you complete your work order officially and then you move on. So after work order has been completed, the actual time required is confirmed in the fifth and final stage. The technical findings, damage, cause of damage, repair performed, and so on. And the effect of the damage on the asset condition are recorded in the technical confirmation. So this is basically what you see. This is basically what you see you do during completion. You ensure that all the technical findings are entered back into your work order, into your notification, just to maintain the history concerning what you have done, how you went about the task, what are the damages, what caused the damage, what repairs did you perform, and so on. This you need to document it back into the notification. So basically, this report goes into the notification because notification is the object that collects technical reports. Work order collects costs, while notification collects technical reports. So after completion, you still go back to the original notification and enter these details. The technical confirmation indicates that the work order is finished for plant maintenance. So once you technically complete your work order, it means that maintenance has been done. Then there's another completion after technical completion called business completion, but this is performed by controlling. That's a finance team. Okay, so this takes place after the order has been settled, also by controlling, and marks the final completion of the work order. So once there's business completion on the work order, it means the work order is completed 100%. But as far as maintenance is concerned, once the work order is technically completed, that is where maintenance intervention ends on the work order. But after it has been technically completed, there's still one more completion that is done, which is called business completion, but this is done by controlling. There's a team called controlling, the part of finance team. So they settle the cost to the respective cost centers and or cost collecting elements. So also during the completion, we carry out time confirmation. So you can either use individual entry method, collective entry method, or overall completion confirmation method, or timesheet. CAT. There's a transaction code called CAT. So you enter the time. So now this is where you enter the actual time you have spent on the job. Remember when, let me open one work order here. When IW38, I want to list out all the work orders we treated in this class so far. So let's say created by or entered by all. So all the work orders I've created will show here. Let me also add the functional location so I can differentiate between the one for your class and the one for other classes. Yeah, so everything on Mac is yours. So I will do a filter here using Mac star that is going to filter only the Mac. So these are the work orders that we treated in this class. So let me see. The first work order is 820. So this work order has been released, has been confirmed, but it has not been technically completed. But if it's confirmed, you will see this confirmation status CNF. It means that all these operations, this operation in this work order has been confirmed that is done. So if you have multiple operations, you need to confirm them one after the other. If you have multiple operations and you confirm just one operation, system would, instead of having CNF, you have PCNF, meaning partial confirmation. But once you see CNF, it means that your work order has been fully confirmed. We're going to look at how to do this confirmation shortly. Then the second work order, let's see. The second work order is released, but is not yet confirmed. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 operations on this work order. None of these operations have been confirmed, and the work order is not technically completed. As you will see the status TECO on the work order. The next work order 2 is released, is not technically completed, and is not confirmed. So the last 2 work orders are good example. Will be good for us to use as demonstration work orders for this class. So time confirmation, you can choose to do your time confirmation using individual entry or collective entry or overall completion confirmation. And you can find the transaction codes for this through the menu, logistics, plant maintenance, maintenance processing, completion confirmation, entry. Look at individual time confirmation here. IW41 will do individual confirmation of time. Then collective confirmation, you can find different kinds of collective confirmation here. IW44 with selection, IW48 without selection. So we're going to also look at how to use them shortly. Then the next one is overall completion confirmation. You will see it here. Overall completion confirmation. Then the next one is time sheet. Transaction code is CAT. You will find it somewhere here. CAT2, record working time. So this CAT2 for record working time. So because you are confirming time, you cannot just, even if you have performed your task on your equipment, you have successfully rectified the fault. You cannot just come into the work order and indicate TECO or change the status to Teco, you need to give feedback into the work order before you can technically complete the work order. Because once you technically complete the work order becomes grayed out. You cannot make any changes on it. So that's why it's good to first of all enter your time. And the time we're talking about is the actual time. So if I open this work order and I go to operation, you'll notice that when we're preparing, during planning phase of this work order, for each operation, we gave the number of guys and the duration, and system calculated the work done. So there is time allocated to every operation. It means that for this isolation, it's going to take 8 hours to do isolation because there are two guys doing 4 hours. It's going to take 18 hours to do dismantle damage part. It's going to take 4 hours. So these are the uh, time allocation to this. But this time is called estimated time. It's called estimated because you are not sure of this time at the time you are allocating. But because of the experience, the supervisor, who is the one planning this, the maintenance supervisor or maintenance technician who is planning this task, who also knows the material to use. Because of his experience, he knows that for this kind of task, isolation, he needs two guys and it will take them 4 hours. So he plans this. Then once the job is done, it might be that for isolation, instead of these guys doing 8 hours, they were fast enough to do 6 hours. So the 6 hours now becomes the actual time. Becomes the actual time. Why here is what? Estimated time. So estimated time is entered during planning, while actual time is entered during completion. So there are a lot of things that this actual time can be used to calculate. There are a lot of things that this estimated time can be also used to calculate. For example, if your team is a team of 4 guys, 4 packs, and every day you are expected to liquidate 10 hours of work, 10 hours of work per person. It means that there's something called capacity utilization. Capacity utilization is equal to hours per day times number of packs, or packs times packs, times actual hours. This will show um this will show how much hours the team of 4 has spent in a day. So you can also calculate capacity utilization per month. Okay, so in this case it will be capacity utilization per month will be hours per month, or uh, days in a month times the packs times hours per day. So if the guy is meant to spend is maybe is in October, they worked for October, then it's going to be 31 times 4 times whatever hours they've worked. But normally they are expected to work for 10 hours. So capacity utilization would be 31 times 4 times 10. So it's 1,240. So the company is expecting this team to always deliver 1,240 hours. So if, for example, they fail to deliver these 10 hours, maybe they deliver just in this month, the team of 4 delivers only, let's say, 8 hours. Then it means that their capacity utilization for that month is 31 times 4 times 8 is 9,992. So there's a difference between what is expected of them and what they have delivered. So the total of this minus 1,240, sorry, we are doing small maths. So 248 hours were not utilized. Not utilized. So the team has to account to the company what they use these 248 hours to do. Because you're expected to work 10 hours a day and you ended up working 8 hours. So your team has liquidated only 900 short of 1,240 by 248. So you will be given a query. So there are KPIs around this that company can use to check it, a particular team. So there's a missing hours or so. Maybe they use this hour just to sit in one place and relax, or to sleep, or to drink coffee, or to play football or whatever. So they need to explain why they didn't use. So this is part of the reason why this hours entry is very important. So you can calculate that based on the estimated hour. You can calculate based on actual hour. So it's more useful to calculate based on actual hour. And the actual hour is the hour you enter during this time confirmation. At the time of completion of the job, the supervisor will take note of when the job started and when the job finished, and will enter the hours exactly in the system. Then activity confirmation. Like I mentioned earlier, during completion of a work order, you need to go back into the notification and update the report. So let me go back into the notification of this work order. You can go back, this is a notification, and you can go back into the notification by clicking on this change button. So once I click, it takes us into the notification. So this is change PM notification. So we have a tab here called item. And on this tab, you will find item, course, task, and activity. So you are going to update, and this is selected from a catalog. There's a catalog here. For example, the catalog for item is giving you all the possible items in the system that you can select from. If it is gas facility, vehicle component. So if you expand this, you see all the items of a vehicle. Brake, steering. So this too is something that you can configure at the back end so that when you click here, you will see the possible items. So let's assume I want to select fuel system. You can add more text here if you want. Then you also need to select. So this item here means that this was the item that was bad that you fixed. So you need to select it here. Then the cause from the catalog to possible causes of that problem. Possible causes. Maybe mechanical causes, human error. What do you think in the course of doing the job? What do you think was the problem? Maybe cut belts, wiring, low on oil, pilot light blowout. So let's just say bad part, for example. That was the cause of the problem. Can also enter free text here. Task. You can select the task also from here. Replace display panel. Whatever task it is. Activity. You can also enter the activities carried out, performed activity, display panel replaced. So replace display panel. So all these details, you will enter it back. And the essence of entering this report is, if you have about 100 notifications which you have entered your report, you can do an analysis using this data. And for some equipment, you'll be able to tell which items are spoiling fast, or what is the common cause of damage on the site that you are covering. If, for example, out of 100 notifications, 50 of the notifications are carrying the cause of damage, rust, caused by rust. So you now have an idea that the weather condition in that environment may not be favoring the equipment. Maybe there's a salty atmosphere or salty salt water around that is causing rust for the equipment. So that will give you an idea to dig deeper to know why you have a particular cause of damage too frequent in your field. So task also will tell you what kind of task that was done. And mostly this task is not really the task that is planned in your work order. It's an emergency task that you just needed to do in the course of the job. So you need to also record it here. What extra task you have carried out. The activities that you've performed, you also enter them here. So you can do an extract of all these details and you analyze it. So this is where you enter your activity report. Your activity report. Also in overall completion confirmation, the same place here, you can also you have opportunity to enter your activity report. For example, let's go to where to do overall completion confirmation. I gave you the transaction code. I took you to the transaction code and I'll take you again. Overall completion confirmation. This is the IW42. Overall completion confirmation. So in overall completion confirmation, you are also able to update your item, your course, the task. You're also able to update the same information during overall completion confirmation. So this is an extra opportunity for you to also update your activity report. You can also enter it here. If you want to enter directly into the notification, you can go into the notification, you will still find these fields. Then this overall completion confirmation will help you carry out two tasks to confirm the operations and at the same time enter your technical report. We're going to do that on one of our work orders shortly. Okay. Then you can also enter your confirmation text. Then measurement and counter reading. During completion of your maintenance, you are able to enter the current counter reading of the equipment. If it's a counter-based equipment, the equipments that are maintained based on counter reading, for example, generator, for example, turbine, pumps, some pumps as well. So there's a counter that is installed on it and is counting the hours they are running. So if at the time of rectifying the fault on the equipment, the counter reading is showing 4,000 hours, then during completion, you can also clock in the 4,000 hours as a current counter reading. So system can start calculating and preparing for the next performance-based maintenance. When we start talking about preventive maintenance, we'll talk about counter readings, entering of counters and all counter readings and so on. So during completion, you can also enter your counter reading. So system will now start calculating. For example, if your equipment is maintained every 4,000 hours and the current maintenance is 4,000 hours and you updated your counter 4,000, by the time the equipment run again for 4,000 hours, it will generate another work order, another preventive work order for you to, so counter reading can also be updated during completion. So let's okay. So there are three different ways to confirm time required for work on a maintenance order. Collective entry by direct entry or using an operation list. Okay. Overall completion confirmation, time, activity, measurement values, and so on a collective screen. Entry using cross application. So we're going to try all these methods. The first one is collective entry by direct entry or using operation list. So you go to collective entry. This is your collective time confirmation. Okay. Collective time confirmation. We have two methods. Without selection. Without selection means you are going to just update your work orders here, right? So if our work orders are, for example, let me copy these work orders. Even if they are 20, not a problem. No matter the number of the work orders, you can copy and load here in the work order column. Once you update here, it's asking me for the order operation. Operation in order does not exist. Okay, I think it should be here. You can select the operation here that which you want to confirm. Calendar, according to factory calendar, 20 October is not a working day. So we'll just ignore that because it's just a warning. It's saying that today is marked as a public holiday because it's Sunday, according to the factory calendar. That's the error where. So you can you can address that in the factory calendar. There's a transaction code called SCAL. SCAL means system calendar. So if you open it, you can if you select factory calendar, you will see different factory calendars are here, their ID. So this is the one we're using, factory calendar 01. So we select it and you display it. You will see that Saturday, Sunday are not checked. The only working days are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So any transaction happening on a Sunday or a Saturday is considered a public holiday. That's why system is warning you. So that's just by the way. I just wanted to take you there so you can see the reason why system is bringing that error. But it's a warning because you see it's just a caution symbol. If it is red, then it's an error. You must solve it. But if it's yellow like this, it's a warning. You can continue to press enter and it will accept it. So you can see that there's a confirmation number generated for the first work order. There's a confirmation number generated for the second work order, and we selected the first operation for each of the work orders. If you want to enter all the operations for these work orders, then you need to repeat the work orders again and select the second operations. Like this operation 20 dismantle. Here operation 10. It looks like this one has only one operation, so no need adding this one. I'll delete this operation. Okay, so but this first work order has multiple operations. So if you want to confirm all of them, you will have to um, select also operation 30 and then select operation 40. We press until accept. So you can see now that you have all the operations here, and you see the actual hours. The hours are copied from the operation. The total hours are captured from the operation. However, you can enter your actual duration. You can enter your actual duration here. So this is coming from the work order, but in real sense, what you worked was 7 hours. This is coming from the work order, but in real sense, what you work is 9 hours. This is coming from the work order, but in real sense, you work 20 hours. This one you work maybe 15 hours, and this one you work 1 hour. So you have entered your actual duration. Why? Maintain a unit. Okay. It's asking me for the unit of the hours. But so I need to enter HR here for all of them. So this is your time. You are confirming, you are carrying out time confirmation. You are entering the time for each of the operation that has been performed. So once you are done with this, you can simply save your confirmation. Right. So this is one method of carrying out your confirmation. So there are other things here also that you can, you can provide in this table. You can enter your confirmation text here. What do you want to say about this this isolation? Isolation of electrical part is the operation short text. So what do you want to say about it? Was it successful? So you can enter your confirmation text there. So let's just enter successful or true. If you have any special text that you want to provide, you can provide there. Okay. So basically, this is how you can manage confirmation. You can also enter personnel number. So there is an integration with there's an integration with HR model, because every staff have a staff number. So you can enter the number, the staff number for the person that has carried out this activity. So if I search here, I will see some numbers, arbitrary numbers that are existing in electrical department. So this is for this guy, Manfred Wayne. So that's his number. He's the one that carried out that task. So you are actually clocking this 7 hours against him. You are saying he spent 7 hours. So if there were other guys that also performed the same task, then you can duplicate this work order down here on the same operation 10 and assign their personnel number with the time they spent on it. Okay, so at the end of the day, you save. So this is one method. I'm not going to save it now. The second method is with selection. So the difference here is with selection is going to bring you this form here to fill so that it can get the right work orders you want to confirm. So the first method, you already have your work orders, so you just copy them and you upload there. The second method, which is this one, you don't have your work orders. You just want to play with the parameters here to get your work orders. So I'll go to functional location and enter Mark. I know we've been doing something around Mark. Then I will just execute with Mark. So all work orders created on any functional location mark will be updated here automatically. So you still follow the same process. Update the operations are updated already. You update the time, actual duration. You can update also the personnel number and you save. So these are the two ways of carrying out collective time confirmation. Then we also have overall completion confirmation. Here you can carry out time confirmation, activities, you can enter the activities and measurement values and so on a collective screen. So here, the transaction code is, so these are just available choices. Okay, nobody is saying you must do all of them. Anyone you do is fine. Anyone that you're comfortable with, you can pick it and continue to use it. But all of them will achieve the same aim. So this is your overall completion confirmation. So I'll double click on it and this is how it looks like. So the only thing here is this will confirm one work order at a time. So whatever you are doing, you can do it only on one work order at a time. So let's assume we want to confirm the first work order. So you enter the work order here, then you press enter. So all the operations in the work order will be showing here. So you can select them and add, still having the factory calendar issue. So you continue to click this until, so it will now be copied into this table. And this table too, you have your actual work duration, you have personnel number as well. You have all those details, the personnel number. So you enter accordingly. Then on the same screen, you can carry out goods movement. Remember when we were doing execution phase, we drew material. So if for some reason your guys fail to post goods movement at that time, you can post your material here now. So if the material or maybe you consume some other material, especially for unplanned materials. So if you consume some other materials that were not posted out, you can post them out here at the same time. The quantity, so this is units, piece, plant is 1,000. Asking for the base units of measure. So let's take that one. Storage location 005. So you can provide all this information. Sorry, 0005. material in storage locations reservoir plant not maintained. So this is true. This could be true because I just selected this material arbitrarily. So the parameters are not the parameters are clashing. The material may not exist in the storage location I'm selecting. Okay, so but this is just to say if there were some materials you consumed that were not posted, you can as well post it during this confirmation stage. You can post it during this confirmation stage. Then you can also enter the activity you carried out. First, you enter the item. Then if you scroll down, you will see the cause of the problem and the task carried out. You can do that on one screen. So that is overall completion confirmation. But the only challenge about this is you must do this confirmation one after the other. Enter the work order number, press enter. It will copy all the operations in the work order. All these are the operations in the work order. Operation 10, 20, 30, and 40. I think if you scroll to this side, you will see their descriptions right here. Isolation, dismantle, blah, blah, blah. All these are the operations that are in the work order. You can see the work centers you assign this operation to. So you can assign the personnel number of the people who are carried out this task, and then you can do your material withdrawal. You can enter your item that was bad, the item that was replaced, or the item that was worked on. Let me just select gas pipe. The cause of the problem that you suspected. Let's enter abuse. Then the task that you carried out. So let's see, this rework, whatever. So all these technical details, you can also enter them on this screen. Okay. So once you do that, you save. So let's try to save this and see. Still, this factory calendar is, so the only thing we can do is to make sure that our date is not 20th. As long as it's 20th, it will complain. So now, the master record for this exists only in 2015. Okay. There's an error message complaining that I think this is the GL account or so. Sorry, the cost center. Well, let's see. Maybe our confirmation has been done. Once you successfully save it, yeah, this is how the message will display. So if you open this work order now, you will see that automatically the status of confirmation CNF will appear on it. Okay, so at the moment, what we have is PCNF. And this PCNF means that we didn't do full confirmation on that. So let's go back to rectify that problem. And I'll show you why. So the transaction code is IW42, overall completion confirmation. This is it. So we entered all this, but we failed to tick confirmation for this F stands for final confirmation. So you need to tick this F for all the operations that, okay, I carried out this operation, I carried out this one, I carried out this one. So by ticking, it means you are confirming all the operations. So now I will save. Again, I will go check my work order. And now you see it's fully confirmed. So when you see confirmed, it means that, so in the business sense, this status changes helps everyone to know the face of the work order. So even for those who are not in the field, once they open 10 work orders and they see that 5 has confirmed, it means that the guys on site who have triggered these statuses have actually performed their operation or their intervention on the equipment. So confirm means that the job has been done by the guys. So just give me 1 second, please. Let me. So what has just happened on this work order, this change of status that has just happened on this work order, like I said, is as a result of the confirmation of this activity. So during confirmation, you enter the actual time, you enter the personnel number of the guys, you enter a lot of details. You also enter, you also tick the checkbox is there to confirm that these activities have been completed. So same thing that has happened here. If we had used um, any of the other confirmation methods, that's the same result you would have gotten. The only thing is this gives you the flexibility of confirming multiple work orders at a time um, without having to do a selection. That's you have your list of work orders handy. This one gives the flexibility to confirm a list of work orders, but you need to search for the work orders using some parameters. So this overall will do the confirmation on one screen. The last one we just did on just one screen, but this takes care of just one work order at a time. Then we also have individual time confirmation. It's not mentioned here. Maybe it's mentioned much in the next slide, but individual time confirmation also will allow you to enter just one work order number. And this one again, you need to specify the operation number. So if you have, for example, let me use the second work order. If you have multiple operations in your work order, you need to confirm one operation after the other. That's the thing about this one. So here you need to enter the first operation 0010, the operation 10. Then system will take you in. You will first of all tick final confirmation. Then uh, you also have where to enter actual duration. Okay. You also have where to enter your activity type, your personnel number, and all these details, even confirmation text, you can enter here. Okay. So individual confirmation IW42, sorry, 41. This is how it looks like. And once you tick this and you provide all the details, then you save. Let's say the time is 10 hours. Once you save, the work order will be confirmed. So now it's saved. So if you open the work order again, you see that the work order is confirmed. So I'm going to open the second work order. The second work order should be confirmed as well. You see, so it's confirmed. So the work order is released and is now confirmed. So you can use any of the methods available for confirmation and carry out confirmation. So now the last one here is entry using cross application timesheet. The CATS is mean cross application timesheet. So this method is just for you to enter the time, the actual time. What it does is it allows you to enter the actual time on a work order. Okay, so this only deals with time, the actual duration, the actual time spent on the job. So the reason why we have this transaction code is so that you can even delegate somebody to be handling only time entry. So the people on site will carry out their task and they will gather the time they have spent on one template, sent to one guy who will use this transaction who probably have access to only this transaction to enter the time. So it's a transaction code that is dedicated for that time entry, CATS. So CATS, okay, sorry. This is actually not is a transaction code, but it's going to take you to timesheet platform. So let me go back. It's going to take you to timesheet platform if you run CATS. Okay. So once you press enter, you'll notice that the menu will change. You're no longer seeing logistics, plant maintenance. What you're seeing here is carts classic, carts for service providers, approver, blah blah blah. So it is the transaction code carts that has changed that. Okay, let's do it again. Now you are seeing office, cross application component, logistics, and so on. But once you run the transaction code carts, it will change the menu. You see, menu is now changed. So the actual transaction code for recording time is CAT 2. CAT 2 is the actual transaction code for recording time. So if you double click on CAT 2, you see timesheet initial screen. You need to provide a profile. So there will be a dedicated profile configured for your company. And what it means by profile is the profile that will give you the necessary fields that your company wants you to fill. So let's just look for any profile here that has to do with plant maintenance. Let's try this one. So here again, you need to provide the personnel number of the person you are entering the time for. So let's select somebody in the system. So let's just select this guy. Then you click on this pen. Then it's going to open this table. And in this table, you have opportunity to enter your time according to days of the week. Okay, every day you perform job on a particular work order. You enter the work order number here. I don't know if I copied. Yeah, enter the work order number. Then you select the operation. What is operation? You select the operation. Uh, this profile, it's somehow, but we'll just manage to use it. Because the profiles are different. If you select another profile, it will come up with with different fields. So profile is configured based on what the company wants, the kind of information the company wants. Okay, this is operation. So you enter the operation, and then you now look for the day of the month. If this job was done on the 16th, you enter the time the guy spent, 5 hours. Okay. So see, a lot of errors. Version 0 is not defined for fiscal year. So if all things being equal, will accept the time and you will just save. So let's try another. I don't want to. If you want to change the profile, you can also change the profile to something. But basically, this profile is the kind of configuration that the company will make just to suit what they want, the kind of data they want you to provide there. Okay, so the different profiles here will always appear differently. They will look different. So let's see how this one looks like. All of them are not making sense to me. It's supposed to be something very simple. So if you have multiple work orders, you line them out here and you enter the right operations, which they use to carry out the task, and you enter the hour according to the day of the month. So there is something ultimately not right here. So we must have to go and fix this version issue. Okay, so but if everything is okay, then you just save and it will take the hours against the person you have recorded the hours for. So once completion confirmation for operations slash sub operation in a maintenance order have been entered, the system automatically assigns the status PCNF, partial confirmation. So to these operations slash sub orders, if no setting has been made in customizing that a final completion confirmation should be proposed automatically. As soon as all the operations or sub operations in the maintenance order has been completely confirmed, the order itself is assigned the status CNF, finally confirmed. So until you have the status CNF, you have not fully confirmed your work order. Reversal of completion. You can also carry out reversal. If you have confirmed your work order, you can um, reverse the confirmation, and it's very simple. You can go back to any of the methods and reverse the confirmation. So let's assume you use this method. So if you launch this transaction again, system will say will warn you because system is seeing that you have already done confirmation on this work order because you have already ticked this. But if you untick this, it means you are reversing confirmation on this work order. So if I save now, if I go back into the work order 480, it means I have reversed the confirmation and it will no longer be having CNF, see? But there are a few other things that I didn't touch. If I remove all of them, it means even this partial confirmation will disappear. So you can do reversal by just unticking or deleting all the things you have entered in the confirmation. So this is everything we have explained here. So this one is just also saying you also have the option of confirming an inspection round within the overall completion confirmation as seen in the planning. If an activity is assigned to a technical object and the corresponding counter as a PRT, you can also record counter reading. I mentioned this before. So you can record the counter reading during confirmation. Let's see where we can do that. So I will go to okay, let's try this and see if the measurement document. So this measurement document, um you can enter your counter reading here. So if the counter at the point of confirmation is 4K, you can enter your counter. Sorry. Okay. Mark. Sorry. So let's select the diesel. Okay, so unfortunately, but I think one of these should have the counter, except if we didn't create any counter for this. Um, we didn't create any counter for this. So if there is any counter existing on any of this equipment, once you search like this, it will just return the counter number. And once the counter number is returned, you can enter the counter reading. So the counter number will return here and the reading will be entered here. So you can also enter your counter reading at the point of confirmation. Technical confirmation. So technical confirmation is the next stage during completion of work order, which is the stage that signals that the job has been technically completed. So when you have provided all this information, cause of damage, activity, task, damage, system availability in your notification, this is basically technical reports. I mentioned this before. You go back into your notification and you enter all this information back into your notification. And once you do that, it means you have done technical reports. So you go back into your notification. You can go to system availability and try to update the status. You can go to item and update the item that is bad, the course, the task, and the activity. So if you have extra tasks that you carried out during the job that were not planned before, you can update the task here and then the activity carried out. So this is called technical reports. You enter technical report back into the notification. So once you have entered technical report and all these details in the notification, then you can carry out your technical completion. So how do you carry out your technical completion? So first, let's go to our notification and genuinely enter these technical details. So let's pick a notification. Let's pick a work order that is fully confirmed. This 80 is fully confirmed. So you go to notification, go to item. Okay, we've already filled this. The gas pipe is the item. The cause of the problem is normal wear. There's a wear and tear. Then you can also update if there was extra task you carried out. Maybe there's a corrective action. I don't know. So you just enter something. Then activity. You also enter the activity performed. Maybe monitor, exchange of parts. So whatever you've done, you can enter it and you add more details to it. You can also enter the start time and the finish time. You can enter all of that. Okay, so once you do that, if you had extra task which you didn't plan for, you can also enter the task. Then, and if you enter the extra task, you will see a new status called TSOS. This means outstanding task. So there's an outstanding task that needs to be released and completed as well, separately. You also see that status here, OSTS, outstanding task. So this is how to release and complete your outstanding task. Select it and click the green button to release it. Once you release it, the status will change to TSRL. Then you can select and complete with the black and white flag and then task completed. Okay, so that is the extra task completed. So you go back to the work order after entering your technical report, then meaning after you enter the cause of damage, work executed, activity task, exact location of the damage and symptom, machine downtimes and system availability during and after the maintenance task. All these details is technical reports. So the findings can be entered either in the malfunction report or request that forms the basis of the order. If this is done, if there is one, sorry, or in an activity report entered later for the order. When you complete the maintenance notification, the data is transferred to the notification history. So all those details are transferred to the notification history, and you can get that history I was talking about calculating, or sorry, analyzing the frequent causes of damage and all of that. So there's a transaction code um, IW65. Yeah, display activities. So this will give you all the activities uh, you have provided, you have reported on a work order. Sorry, on a notification. Let's even look for the ones we entered for our own notification. So I'll just run for everything. So you can see these are all the activities that people are entering in the system. Unfortunately, some will not enter, but if all of them are entered, you will see the problem. So you can see clean here, clean here. You can see seal here, seal here, replacement. So you know what kind of activities that are frequently done in the organization. Likewise, the item and cost of the problem. You can check that with IW, I think 68. No, no. IW 65, right? I've forgotten this. IW 60. Yeah. IW 67 will display task. Task carried out. Sorry, because of this date. So all those details you are providing the system, you are able to return them in a report format. You see different tasks carried out on different notifications can be returned. And you can export this to Excel and analyze it and inform management what is the frequent task carried out. We also have this report for causes of a problem. So you have this also for cause of the problem. When I remember that transaction, I will run it. But these are just reports that you can run and you will find out all these details you are entering in the system. Okay. So technical completion, you have two options. Technical completion will marks the end of maintenance on a particular work order. You can carry out technical completion using two options. You can complete the maintenance order and the notification separately, or you can complete the maintenance order together with the assigned notification. So let's take for example these work orders here. This particular work order, we need to technically complete this work order. So there's a button here. This black and white flag is for technical completion. Complete work order technically. So if you hit on this button, it's going to take you to settlements to maintain the settlement rule. This is like this because the settlement rule was not maintained before now. So there's a button there's a place you can click to maintain your settlement rule. Now, what is settlement rule? Settlement rule is just the way you want to settle the cost on this work order, right? And there's a cost on this work order. This is a cost, 51,000, 41,000, and so on. So this is a cost incurred from the spare parts and even the operations, the personnel that you assign here. Because for using two guys, because of HR module integration, system will know the worth of two guys for 4 hours. And system will add it to your work order as a cost of carrying out maintenance for this equipment, this water maker. So settlement means that you want to settle the cost. Who do you want to give this cost? That's why we have cost center. There's a field called cost center. These are cost center. So this field is supposed to be populated. Even if it's not populated at this time, you need to provide a cost center which you will settle your cost. So some equipments, for example, are utilized by multiple departments and they are sharing costs. Or in some other companies, there's something called JV, joint venture. So if, for example, a company like Shell and NNPC are in joint venture and they are both um, they are both managing a particular turbine. So any cost of maintenance on that turbine will be shared uh, according to a particular percentage agreed between the parties. So if an NPC is taking the revenue, return of revenue, or return of investment of 60%, and Shell is doing 40%, it means when there's a breakdown on site, the cost of maintenance will also be shared in that percentage. So you can maintain a settlement rule here. Then you enter the cost collecting element, the cost receiver, the settlement receiver for one party. Let me just use arbitral cost center, say 40,000. Great. So if you want the owner of this cost center, maybe the owner of this cost center is party A. So party A is incurring a cost of is ensuring a 60% settlement. So the total cost of maintenance will be catered for by party A to the tune of 60%, while party B cost center is also this. The cost center does not exist. Okay. So party B is taking 40%. So at the end of the day, whatever is the cost of maintenance will be shared among this. So now you have maintained the settlement rule. So if you go back and you click on TECO now, system will accept. Because the moment you technically complete this work order, you cannot make any changes again on this work order. System, the work order will be grayed out. So the first option, which is to complete the two objects, both notification and work order, this is where you can enable it. Complete notification. As you are completing this work order, you want the notification to be completed at the same time, you tick this button. But if you don't want, you untick it. So system will complete only the work order, meaning the status technical completion, TECO will appear here, meaning the work order is completed. Then you can go back into the notification and also complete the notification separately. But if you want to complete the two objects, which is always the best practice, you select it and enter the malfunction end date. Malfunction ended today, and then accept it. Okay. So there's a system status blocking it, and this system status is coming from our notification. Okay, already the system has accepted TECO on this work order, but that error message is coming from here because of the active task. Okay. But the task, no wonder it accepted because the task is not even active, it's completed. So if the task was outstanding, then it would have been fair to say that the error was displayed, but the task is completed. Uh, let's see. Yeah. So our work order is now on TECO, and naturally our notification should also be on NOCO. Okay, there's a problem. There's a fundamental problem on this notification here. This status is the one blocking this OSTS. This means outstanding task. It means there's this task. You see, there's a task that is not yet completed. And what task is that? Because normally this is not normal in the sense that the task itself is completed. You see, task completed. So this status is supposed to change automatically to task completed. So let's try to, you see, you can't even close this notification.
Hello, Omaridian. Okay.
Okay, sorry guys. I had a little glitch on my network, so I'll be sharing my screen again. So. Okay, so this is not normal. Actually, once this task is completed, the way we did, it's supposed to it's supposed to automatically change the status. So let's go back. So this task is new now. I just added a new task again, which is now on outstanding. So if I release this task, I can complete the task. So it's supposed to change the status automatically. So it's actually the reason why the notification did not complete. You can see the status of notification is still in process. The status of notification is supposed to change to NOCO, NOCO, notification closed. Or better still, let me see if I can delete this task. Still there. So what this is saying is the work order is completed, but notification is not yet completed because of this status that is blocking it. But in real sense, once the work order is completed with that option of complete notification and work order, the status of notification also is supposed to change to NOCO. So let's try this on another work order, like the last one. So let's see. Okay, we don't have any outstanding task on this one. So if I technically complete, so we need to maintain the settlement rule again. This time around, I'll use 100% settlement on this guy. Then I'll complete notification and work order at the same time. And then I will put my end date for the job to be that. So accept. Okay, so if I open the notification, of course the notification is completed. So this is exactly how it's supposed to to behave. Once you complete the work order, notification comes. So the two documents are grayed out. Nobody can change anything. You can see all the fields in the notification are grayed out. The fields in the work order are also grayed out. And that tells you that work order is fully technically completed. So from maintenance point of view, the work order is completed. So this is exactly the problem we are facing here that is trying to explain here. If there are any outstanding task, status OSTS in a notification, the notification cannot be completed. So the task must first be marked as finished. The order belonging to the notification can, however, be completed, just exactly what we experienced, as the outstanding task must not necessarily belong to the order performed. So in certain circumstances, a new order may be required for this. All notifications with outstanding tasks can be identified easily from their status OSTS and then processed. So exactly what we went through. So effects of technical completion. When you do technical completion on your work order, what can you do? What can you not do on the work order? There's limited ability to change the work order. You can't change the work order. Okay, just a few changes you can do on the work order, and the changes are like you can set a deletion flag. Okay, you can create another settlement rule if you want. You can change the modify the settlement rule. Okay, so limited ability to change the order, and then you see a status technically completed. Once that's one of the effects is you will see a new status TECO technically completed. You can create a settlement rule. Let's see how possible this is for one of the work orders we have completed. So this work order is technically completed. Can we create a new settlement rule on it? Yes. So we can modify the settlement rule again. So mean we can add new parties to the settlement rule and modify the settlement percentage. Why this is 40. So exactly confirming what we have in the book. So you can save again. So you have modified the settlement rule even though the work order is technically completed. What again can you do? You can deletion flag for your purchase requisition. So if there is any outstanding purchase requisitions, whether outstanding, in fact, whether outstanding or not, once your work order is technically completed, all purchase requisitions line items are automatically deleted. So let's see how this would behave. Okay, all these are not, they are not PR materials, they are stock items. So let's check in the other work order if we have any non-stock item that generated a purchase requisition. Yes, so we have this first line that generated a purchase requisition. So according to this, what we have just seen here, uh, once there, one of the effects of technical completion is that all purchase requisitions are deleted. So all the line items in your purchase requisition will be automatically deleted. So let's confirm that. And I'll tell you why that is happening. So how do you get the purchase requisition for this? You go to general data, navigate to purchasing. This is your purchase requisition. I think we can view the detail here. No, not here. So let's just copy. Can we, if we double click? Yeah, I should be able to open the purchase requisition if we double click. So you can see all the line items have been, there's a deletion, there's a trash can on it. And this trash can means that the line items are deleted. And the reason why system is deleting the purchase requisition is that if you made an order for this material, when the work order is completed, we don't need the material again. No need wasting money to buy the material again. And we don't want any other person to pick this purchase requisition and create a purchase order and order the material and waste company money. So system will render this purchase requisition useless automatically because you have tech code. You have confirmed that job is done. the system will clear all open reservations, will close all open reservations. So that can also be checked here. When you order a material, let's go back to the work order. Just to remind you, I double click on the purchase requisition number, then the purchase requisition open. So for reservation, this is a reservation, right? So if I want to see the reservation number, I would look at the reservation number here. Okay. So this is my reservation number and this is the reservation document. So all you can see everything is ticked here. Goods movement is ticked, final issue is ticked, deletion is ticked. It means this reservation cannot be utilized again. They are closed. It's closed out. That's what that means. Close all open reservation. It will close open capacities. So capacity means if you are located, say two guys from maybe electrical team and only one guy was utilized, you confirm only one guy, the other one will be closed out. It will return back to its team, its main work center. Because if you close the two, it means you have consumed that capacity. The two guys, you utilize them in the job. But if you did not utilize them, you only utilize one, then only the open capacity will be closed out. It will look as if really we didn't utilize this capacity. The cost on it will be zeroed out. The cost on that capacity will be zeroed out. So system status TECO, the maintenance order obtains the status TECO, meaning technically completed. In other words, the maintenance work required for this order has been completed. The maintenance order can then only be changed offline as follows. So it can be locked or unlocked. So let's see. The only thing you can do again on this work order is you can lock it, you can unlock it. So this is our work order. If you go to order, functions, lock, you can lock your work order. Now work order is locked. You can also unlock it. Go back to order, lock, you can unlock it. Okay, so your work order is unlocked. Okay. Another thing is the deletion flag can be set. You can set deletion flag on your work order if it's still carrying the status TECO. How do you set deletion flags? T functions, deletion flag set. You can set deletion flag here and you can also reset it. Goods movement that are still outstanding and confirmation and invoices received can be entered. So even when you tackle your work order, you can still carry out goods movement. You can still carry out invoice to pay the vendor. You can still change the settlement rule. So these are the possible things that can happen. And this can be very good question in exam or interview. When the work order is technically completed, what are the possible things you can do and you cannot do on the work order? You can lock or unlock the work order. You can set deletion flag. Good movements that are still outstanding and confirmation and invoice receipt can still be entered. You can still change the settlement rule. So reversing technical completion. You can reverse the status TECO, technically completed, if required. So the order is given the status that it has before the technical completion. So even if you have technically completed your work order, you can reverse that action. How do you reverse technical completion? You come to order again, function, complete, cancel technical completion. So once you do that, you see your work order is now open and the system would go back to the status it was. Technical completion disappears. It is back to confirmation. You can also reverse the confirmation and the work order goes back to release. Okay. So the only status you can't reverse is the release status because logically, once a work order is released, you cannot unrelease it. No one should be able to unrelease a work order. So notification system status NOCO. So why work order has a status TECO, the notification will have the status NOCO. And I showed you that if you go into the notification, sorry, this one had the issue we encountered. So I will just go to the second one. So if you go to the notification, you will see that it has a status NOCO, and this signals completion for the notification as well. Okay, so before you complete a maintenance notification, check the following. All data which refers to reference object for the maintenance notification is available and correct. Because if you don't check this, once you NOCO your notification, you can't change anything again. Check that all relevant item data is available and correct. All relevant task data available and correct. All tasks have been completed or released, so there are no more outstanding tasks. Check that all technical data related to breakdown availability of the technical system is available and correct. So when you complete a maintenance notification, the following can occur. The reference date and the time determine what periods are assigned to the notification in plant maintenance information system. The maintenance notification is locked for changes. You can't change anything again, which means that you can no longer change notification data. And the notification is assigned the status of no notification completed. Notification outstanding task. So this outstanding task is still what caused us the problem, because like I mentioned, in the course of carrying out your maintenance task, you may have carried out a task which you didn't plan originally here in the operations. You discover that, okay, I need to do isolation, dismantle, replacement of damaged part, calibration, and in addition, you discover that you need to do maybe grinding work or something that was not planned for. So you can, and it might even be a task that is not even relevant to the title of this work order. Like this work order is damaged water maker machine, and the task you want to carry out in the course of this work is not even related to what the work order title. So you can schedule that task in your notification on that task. So here you select task from the catalog. What kind of task? Maybe let's see the vendor interference. No. Let's see corrective task. So maybe renewed cable or increased voltage or reduced voltage or swap power pack or set again. So maybe this was a task that you did in the course of this job. So you need to update the task, and the task will come with the status task is outstanding. So you need to release this task. System will now change the status to task released. Then once task is released, you can complete the task. So what we're saying here is uh, this outstanding task status will only come up on a notification if you have added an additional task. Look at the status here, outstanding task. So once you add an additional task to your notification, you will have the status outstanding task. So you have to complete a task before you can complete the notification. So I select and I complete my task. It's funny that this is not changing. For some reason, normally once this changes to task completed, it should also change here. But here it's still carrying outstanding tasks. So there's a problem. So the notification thereby obtains the status outstanding task. Task must always be marked as completed before the notification can be completed. So if that status doesn't change to task completed, that notification cannot be completed. Action log. So all changes to notification or work order or equipment or functional location are displayed in chronological order in an action log. Action log, in short, is just a record of all the changes that people are carrying out on your notification or work order. So you can find action log for your work order under extras, document for order, action log. So if you select action log, you are going to see all the changes that has happened on this work order in a chronological order. So the very first actions performed will be at the bottom. So you can see how these actions took place. You can see the person who changed it, the time for each step and the date. So for example, when the work order was released, it was released by me, okay, on so time 10:49, and then the date is 28 September 2024. So this is action log. So whatever anyone is whatever intervention somebody is carrying out on the work order will be recorded in the action log. So there won't be any denial of action taken on a work order. So whatever action, your username will be captured there, the time and dates will be recorded on the wall. Likewise, the notification. Also, you go to uh, extras, notification, action log. You'll find all changes on the notification as well here. The person who changed it, the time and date, what field he changed, and the type of content he changed. Okay, so basically this is still talking about action log. This is your maintenance order, who changed what and when. All those details you'll find in action log. So here is exercise. I will just flash it. Just try it out on your own. Time confirmation option. Mention the options available. Do you remember any of the options? Anybody remembers the options?
Yes, I think individual confirmation,
Mm-hmm.
and then there is a collective where
Exactly.
you.
Okay, great. So individual confirmation, collective confirmation, overall completion confirmation, all these are options available. They say carry out time confirmation. So you can use any of those methods to carry out your confirmation. Carry out time confirmation on one of the work orders you created. Carry out collective confirmation on your work orders. For two of your work orders, carry out mass reversal for time confirmation you just performed. It's just to launch the multiple confirmation transaction and uncheck or undo all the actions you have carried out on them. You have all the options, the transaction codes here. Um, all the transaction codes can be found under completion confirmation. You see, individual, collective, overall, and so on. So I will flash the questions and you try them out yourself. Okay, so try them out yourself as much as you can. This technical confirmation where you enter the item, the cause, the task, the damage. All right, so this brings us to the end of this part. I'm going to stop recording and then I will introduce a new topic so we can go again. Okay, somebody wants to ask a question. Okay, yeah, this is your former hand there.
No, it's not.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you were talking about the impacts